What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, this year has been anything but easy for the movie industry, and as far as we're concerned, when it comes to Marvel Studios, they've maybe had it just a little bit more rough than others, considering when Disney's president Bob Iger came back, his main directive to scale everything back was aimed at studios like Marvel, who were absolutely churning out content at a breakneck pace, and maybe leading to some of the quality being less than the fans had expected or that Disney or Marvel Studios would like. Well, in the wake of that, one of Bob Iger's very telling quotes was, "Do we need a fourth and fifth movie for every Marvel superhero?" And at the time, a lot of people suspected he was talking about Thor 4, because we've yet to get Captain America 4, and very few franchises have reached that fourth movie mark. Now, while his assertion about certain superheroes or even certain IP in general is probably correct, that you don't need to keep making movies just for the sake of it, and sometimes there just isn't enough intrinsically in the character or story itself to warrant making the movie, I staunchly disagree that this applies to the character of Thor. With so many amazing stories in modern publishing, and after the debacle that was Thor 4, he definitely deserves a fifth installment to redeem the character and keep him involved in the MCU in whatever fashion they can. Well, Chris Hemsworth now has had no problem talking about Thor 4 in retrospect. What he has said real recently definitely mirrors the sentiment of the fan base. It wasn't that good. But he's also discussed his willingness to come back for a fifth installment for the film, and also expressed what would need to happen with the character and story in order for him to be willing to do that. We're going to break down the latest coming directly from Chris Hemsworth about what Thor 5 might even look like if Marvel's willing to do it, and why I think Marvel absolutely has to after Thor Love and Thunder. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews, to the occasional industry insider report, and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is right around the corner, just a couple of weeks to coincide with Secret Invasion's release. So again, all you gotta do, be a sub, leave a comment on this video. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so the most recent batch of quotes came from Chris Hemsworth talking to GQ, and of course with all these big Marvel actors, no matter what their upcoming project like Extraction 2, no matter what the announcement or red carpet event, they're always also going to get asked about Marvel. Towards the end of the article, this is what they write, quote, "Still, Chris Hemsworth bristles when I ask him about criticisms of Marvel by filmmakers including Martin Scorsese and Quentin Tarantino, who recently queried whether Marvel actors are really movie stars." Parentheses, in a podcast interview last year, Tarantino said that the characters, not the actors, were the stars. This is what Hemsworth said, quote, "That's super depressing when I hear that. There goes two of my heroes I won't work with. I guess they're not a fan of mine. I'm thankful that I've been a part of something that kept people in cinemas. Now, whether or not those films were to the detriment of other films, I don't know. I don't love when we start scrutinizing each other and when there's so much fragility in the business and in this space of the artist as it is. I say that less to the directors who made the comments, who are all, by the way, still my heroes, and in a heartbeat I would leap to work with any of them, but I say it more as a broader opinion around that topic. I don't think any of us have the answer, but we're trying." They then go on to talk about the criticism of Marvel movies, including Chris Hemsworth's own kids' friends. "It's a bunch of 8-year-olds critiquing my film," he said. "We thought this one was good, we thought it had too much humor, the action was cool, but the VFX weren't very good," he recalls. "I cringe and laugh equally at all of it." But then he goes on to say, "I think we just had too much fun. It just became too silly," and he's talking about Thor Love and Thunder. He pauses. "It's always been hard being at the center of it and having any real perspective. I love the process, it's always a ride, but you just don't know how people are going to respond." And what he's referring to there was, while he was on set of Thor Love and Thunder, maybe none of them could see that it was turning out to be too silly of a product because they were on set making it and having fun. It just didn't translate when the movie was finally done. Now, all of this mirrors the exact same sentiment he issued about coming back for a Thor 5 and whether or not he'd want to do it, what that story would have to look like. This is what he said on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, quote, "I've said this before, but when it comes to too familiar, I think there's a risk in getting lazy then because I know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm even invited back," he's referring to Marvel, "but if I was, I think we would have to go in a drastically different version in tone, everything, just for my own sanity. Thor lost his mind in that last one. He's got to figure it out now." Now, obviously, Marvel Studios is going to bring back Chris Hemsworth and Thor, if not before, definitely during Secret Wars. Their apparent MO to bring back every character even includes those from other cinematic universes, so his future is safe, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to get a Thor 5. What these quotes do reveal is that he's down to do it. He would just have to make sure it wasn't anything like Thor Love and Thunder, which really tells me you've got to get a new director. Look, I love Taika Waititi. I love a lot of his old work. I think he's an outstanding writer. I think he has some great movies, but Thor Love and Thunder is definitely not one of them, and you may say he's 1-1 considering he did Ragnarok as well. You might want to give him a shot to even the ledger, but if they're going to go in a completely different tone, that's a serious Thor, and really that's the tone that should have been for a movie that was addressing Jane Foster's cancer and death, and Gore the God Butcher, who ended up butchering almost no gods throughout the film. It's really hard to tell how Thor Love and Thunder became the film that it is, and I've speculated that the disconnect may be because of the dated elements, things like the Screaming Goat or the Van Damme split kick at the beginning of the film. Those are really 2012, 2013. It made it feel like maybe the script was something that Taika Waititi had. It was an older script, and then feels like it really lost something in translation when it was updated for screenplay and released in early 2020. It set it off kilter literally from Act 1. By the time you add in the rush CGI for the best part of the film towards the end, it just doesn't pay off anything that we expected. That being said, the obvious future for Thor includes a crossover with Hercules. I know a lot of us speculated he may be the replacement for Thor in an Avengers capacity for the end of Secret Wars. They're obviously analogous characters. Shoot, Hercules carries a hammer, for God's sake, pun totally intended on both accounts. But there's going to be a heavy inclusion. There is still plenty of screen time for Chris Hemsworth Thor. He's saying that joking when he says, "if I'm invited back." Plenty of screen time left to redeem his character, and in a serious tone as they close out the Multiverse Saga. And so while Thor Love and Thunder might not have done him justice, and even if there won't be a Thor 5, there is still plenty of screen time between now and then, not only to redeem the character in sort of the narrative capacity, but also redeem the character as how he's played by Chris Hemsworth and is standing in the fans' eyes. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. Would you even want a Thor 5, and what do you want for the future of the character? I think we can all agree his peak tone, peak Thor, was somewhere between Ragnarok and Infinity War. That's what I would want to see a return to, but let me know your thoughts down below. As always, quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we are still giving away PlayStation 5s at the channel. The next one is just weeks away to coincide with the release of Secret Invasion. If you want to be entered to win, all the same rules will always apply. All you got to do, hit the subscribe button, then leave a comment down below, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos the same way we're doing here, live with my voice and the comments shown on screen, so please be vigilant. If you ever get a comment on my channel, really anywhere on YouTube, someone claiming to be a content creator saying you've won, do not contact them on a third-party app like Telegram or WhatsApp. Rather, just report that comment to YouTube. They'll delete the account, and you're really doing a service for everybody on the platform, because not only will you not be scammed, but everybody else that they've commented on won't be scammed either, and I would sincerely appreciate it. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name Allfires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon. Can't wait to see you guys right around the corner for the watch parties for Secret Invasion. All right, peace.